BSA Ultra SE in 177. Hi guys, this is RACKNLOAD, and what a great rifle this is. BSA Ultra SE in full synthetic, and it is very nice too. So let's get straight in there and talk about this gun in some detail then. So first of all, the overall length of this gun is 82 centimeters. Barrel length is 30 centimeters, obviously without the moderator on there. And the weight is 2.6 kilos. That's unscoped. So it's fairly light really for a pre-charged gun. But considering the length, it's a nice short bit of kit as well. So let's jump straight in there and get talking about this gun in some detail. But wait, I hear you say, Rack, you're wearing a blooming loom band. Yeah, well, you got to get down with the kids, ain't you? And after all, it is in the RACKNLOAD colours, so, you know, I can get away with it. Don't forget to get your patches, by the way, on RACKNLOAD.com. Shameless plug there. So anyway, back to the rifle. So, BSA Ultra SE. It really is a nice gun. I've enjoyed using this and testing it. This is a fully synthetic stock. Totally ambidextrous. I do love to see that on air guns now. Because me being a lefty, you know, I don't like to have problems testing these guns. So, yeah, fully ambidextrous. Apart from the bolt, that is, but you know, you get used to that. You got a nice rubber recoil pad or butt pad, and then you've got sling swivel studs, one there and then one right at the fore end. And it's a nice stock, tough, solid, obviously weatherproof. Got BSA's logo on there. You've got the logo there on that side of the stock, and it's got a nice chunky pistol grip on it, and everything seems to just flow nicely with this stock. Everything's lovely and chunky, so you're not going to break anything really on this stock. It really is a tough synthetic stock. Very comfy as well, very comfy. So let's talk about the magazine then before we jump right into sort of loading the magazine. So first of all, this is your mag, 10-shot mag, and nice and easy to load. You just sort of turn this blue thing, which is obviously the internal mag, put your pellet in there, turn it, drop another one in. It is spring loaded, so if you sort of let go, it sort of just returns to the start. But as you load them up, just keep dropping them pellets in, and then it'll literally just stay there once the last one's in. One thing with these magazines is just make sure the pellets are seated right, else this thing could jam a little bit if the pellets are not seated correctly. So just make sure they're in there. Just sort of give them a bit of a tap, like, just to make sure they're in there nice and square and level, so to speak. And you shouldn't really have any problems. I didn't have any problems. I was using flathead target wad cutters at the start of this video, and they were running fine. I know you wouldn't really use those pellets in this gun, but just for testing purposes, that's what I was using. But yeah, the mags are pretty nice and simple really. Can be a little bit fiddly to get in. I'll just show you. So obviously you open the bolt. There's no air in this. I've literally used it all up in testing. Yeah, so pull the bolt back, all the way back, and then this little thing here, that lever, that goes all the way forward. It is already, but just push that forward, and then you got your magazine. Trying to do this on camera and look in the viewfinder at the same time. and then just drop your mag in pretty much like that. Close that bit back, bolt forward, and that's it, you're good to go. No automatic safety, it's totally manual, which I like, because you can put that thing on and off anytime you like. Love it. And there you go, safe direction. There's no air or pellets in this gun anyway. That's literally the mechanism firing, because this gun is dry as a bone. Like I said, I used every last drop of air out of this thing. What I found with this magazine as well, sometimes easy to get it upside down. I know it sounds daft, because obviously where your pellet would be should be at the top, should be that way around, but if you're not sort of concentrating, you will try and put this thing in upside down. So just be careful when you do that. But yeah, I do rate the magazines, I do quite like them. How you'd fare with loading these if you know, in cold weather situations, you know, your hands are cold and wet, don't know. But yeah, they work well. To be fair, I'm a bigger fan of the type of magazines that, like for instance, you get an HW100, where it's literally a metal cylinder where you just drop the pellets in. Nothing mechanical about them like these. But no, these are good. These are the new improved ones anyway, the blue ones. So they've put right the problems that they had with the previous ones, so I'm led to believe. Now the safety catch is manual, so it's non-automatic, which I like. I just like old-fashioned manual safety catches. Not a big fan of auto safeties, especially if you want a fast follow-up shot. I know you can get used to them, depends on where they're situated, but I like a gun where you can just literally work the bolt, shoot, you know, without having to worry about knocking a safety catch off as well. So yeah, top marks for that safety catch. It definitely works well and is nice and solid as well, which is good. So you've got the BSA logo there on the side of the stock. This gun's wearing a Hawk Sport HD 3-9x50. Good scope. Not high end obviously, but for the money that you pay for one of these scopes, they are good. And I'm a big fan of Hawk. They really are quite good, good scopes for the money, if you haven't got big bucks to shell out on glass. And you've got plenty of rail there for your scope. Loads of room there to give you whatever eye relief you require. And there's the pressure gauge, situated underneath the fore end of this gun, which I like. My favourite place to have one of these gauges is on the side, so you can literally just have a glance at it. I do hate seeing gauges right at the end where you've got to more or less look down the muzzle to see how much air's in it. God knows why they do that. I know it's down to design and where regulators and this, that and the other are sort of situated, but I really am not a big fan of looking at the front of a rifle to see how much air is in it. So love that. Good place to put it. You don't even know it's there when you're shooting. It doesn't interfere with anything because it's pretty much sort of buried in the fore end. So you've got a free floating barrel as well, 30cm barrel, and on the end of it, this is wearing a moderator, obviously, 1/2" UNF thread. But I'll just take this off just to show you how short this rifle is without a moderator. So let's get rid of that. So if you can kind of see that on camera, very short, very pointable. Obviously if you weren't putting a mod on this thing, then I'd definitely put some sort of muzzle brake or something, or a thread protector just to protect that thread. But yeah, look how sort of stubby that thing is. Very pointable. You know, if you're doing a bit of pest control in a barn or something, very pointable gun. Just show you the markings on the side of the rifle. Good to see that as well, made in England. It's just a lovely compact gun. Now this thing in 177 will push out, so they say, 40 shots, 40 full power shots. Now I found I was getting about 60 full power shots. The reason I could tell I was getting good full power shots was when I'm testing this gun, I'm using a steel backstop to stop the pellets, and on the when it was in like the 50s, as far as pellets were concerned, it was still hitting that steel hard. I could tell by the noise it was hitting it, and the pellets were just literally splatting on impact. And I literally ran this gun dry out of air, and when I was sweeping up all the pellets after, I didn't find any sort of semi-damaged pellets. They were all literally splattered. So this thing, with the pellets I was using, which were these literally just cheap, well, I say cheap, mediocre wad cutter pellets. I know you wouldn't really use wad cutter target pellets in a gun like this, but I was just paper punching with it just to sort of see what it was like on accuracy, and basically just to give it a good sort of testing. And it was pushing these out, you know, at a good rate, and I counted the pellets out, and I got at least 60 shots off at a good decent power, a good sort of stopping power as far as a rabbit's concerned. Yeah, it was at 25 yards, the range that I'm using, but I could just tell the way that steel was ringing, and out of experience as well. I mean, it was hitting it hard, let's just say that. Goes with quite a crack though without a moderator, so definitely worth investing in a moderator. But of course, moderator will add to the length somewhat, so bear that in mind. But it still is quite a short gun with that mod on. I mean, what's that? That's a good sort of 10 inches that mod is. You can get smaller ones. Like I said, 1/2 inch UNF, so see what your options are. The bolt on the gun is all metal as well, nice and tough. You can double feed this rifle if you're not careful, so just be aware of that. There's no sort of feature to stop you double feeding it, but on a lot of air guns there isn't really. So just be aware of that. Just when you've loaded it, make sure you don't load it again, because you don't want to clog the barrel up. Though a thing like this will push 2 pellets out anyway. But yeah, just be aware of that. Sort of count your shots. What I was finding as well, on the last shot, I'd actually obviously take the shot, and then if I'd lost count, which I'd usually do, I was cocking it again and then pushing it forward, and it was actually pushing the mag lever forward. Only sometimes. I don't know whether it's supposed to do that or not. This is a second-hand rifle, so it's not a brand new rifle out of the box. So whether that's a little design fault or what, I don't know, but it seemed to just do it every now and again for some reason. The trigger I found was nice. It was nice and smooth, nice and crisp. 2-stage. Real nice trigger, fully adjustable as well. Kind of a bit of a fiddle there to get your Allen key in there, your Allen wrench to adjust that, but I found this trigger was nice as it was. There's your pressure gauge there. And there's your takedown nut to take the stock off. Now these stocks incidentally come in all colours. Come in camo, obviously they come in wood, and literally loads of other different colours. I mean, check out BSA's website and just have a look at this gun and all the sort of bits and pieces that they do for them and the different customised stocks. But this is a good option if you're sort of out in the field. You know, you're not bothered about getting it wet or giving it the odd knock. I think you'd be a little bit miffed if it was a nice walnut stock that you was knocking about, but with this thing it would take some punishment. To recharge this rifle, you just undo the knurled end cap. Just undo that, and that reveals the filler area to juice this rifle up. The end cap's metal as well, nice and tough. Keeps all the muck out of there, so that's good. Now one thing I don't like about this gun, guys, is this bit here, which basically stops the magazine being pushed all the way through the gun. I don't know, it's like a big chunk of metal just literally screwed on the side there. Not so keen on that. I think they could have done a better job of that, but basically on the side of the magazine you've got that little sort of bit there sticking out. That pretty much just goes in that hole there when you load up the mag, like so. I don't know, I just think they could have done a better job of that, just to make it, I don't know, a bit more pleasing to the eye maybe. I don't know, that's just me. I've got to moan about something, guys, come on. But yeah, a great gun though. Quite high end price wise, you know, it's variable the prices on these things, so do shop around. But don't forget you'll need glass as well for this gun. And the moderator, I believe they don't come modded up, correct me if I'm wrong. And you'll probably want a couple of extra magazines as well. But great gun, British made as well, so that always gets a thumbs up. That's your rack and load review, guys.